Welcome everyone to AJ's World of Bodybuilding, and today we're joined by a classical wonder kid who's on the rise right now, Valentin Petrov. How are you?
I'm very good, AJ. Nice to see you, man. How are you doing?
You are the first classical guest I've had on AJ's World of Bodybuilding, and I'm very happy it's you.
That's a pleasure of mine to be here as the first one.
The first classical guy. I want to go back a little bit before we talk about what happened this weekend, a little bit before. So people at home, I saw Valentin last year live at the Arnold Classic UK Pro Qualifier. It was one of the greatest classical pro qualifiers we've ever seen in the Pro League, correct?
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. Correct.
It was tremendous level. And there we have the 22-year-old at the 22-year-old from Bulgaria. And you won the whole show at 22. How did that feel?
Man, it felt incredible because, you know, I always strive to get my pro card at early age. I had it as a goal of mine to become the youngest Bulgarian professional bodybuilder, because we are not many professional bodybuilders in Bulgaria. We are like 5 to 6. That's it. And 3 of them are like retired. So basically active professionals, we are currently 3, just 3 guys.
Is my favorite Dobry Dolev? Is he Delev?
Dobry Delev? Yeah, he's retired.
Oh, okay.
He's done.
Okay,
he's done. He hasn't said anything. He just stays in shape for photos and stuff. But he hasn't said anything. I think he's retired.
Okay. Anyway, So when did you? Okay, keep going. Yeah, you had the goal of being the youngest. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had that goal to be the youngest professional bodybuilder in Bulgaria. So yeah, this came into effect after I won the Arnold's. It felt incredible, man. Like I couldn't even believe what is going on. Like so many emotions were going through my head at this moment when I won it. I couldn't even speak properly because I was so shocked. And the things that were going through my head, like the passing of my grandma. Everyone knows the story now. I said it in Instagram. I said it there on the Arnold stage. My grandma passed right before the Arnold competition, like 2 months before that.
Was she close to you?
She was very close. She was like a mother to me, and she looked at me in my bodybuilding path. She always she was a big critique of mine. So she saw my shape and she was like, "You have to work here. You're not symmetrical. You know, I don't want you to get just big." She was like, "I don't want you to get just big." So she was like, "You need to put more muscle in here, in the delts, in the legs. I want you to be proportional, symmetrical." So she had an eye for that, and she never was like into sports or something like that. She was eating healthy. She was a healthy woman. But yeah, I mean, she was a big part of my bodybuilding career because at early age she helped me with my meals, cooked them. She was always so supportive with my career and with what I was doing. She believed in me more than I was believing in myself then. And I promised to her that I'll be the youngest pro in Bulgaria, and I'll step on Olympia stage one day.
When did you start bodybuilding, by the way?
I started when I was 16 years old. Before that, I did some martial arts, did some other sports. I was always a sports guy. But I started at 16 years old. They shut my martial arts gym in my home city. So we had only one gym. They shut it down. And my father was like, "Go to the gym, see if you like it. Don't get addicted to it."
How was your physique? How was your physique at 16?
I was 66 kgs, and I was pretty lean, I can say. But I used to be a gamer back then. I had a YouTube channel, So I was a gamer, and I did some YouTube videos and stuff. I was drinking like 3 to 4 liters cola a day. Not a diet Pepsi. It was not a diet.
No.
It was full sugary. I was eating all the junk in the world, and I stayed pretty lean.
So great metabolism. Your body was running.
My metabolism was like so fast and so good. So yeah, when I went to the gym for the first time when I was 16, I saw the progress. I started progressing so crazy. I ate big amount of foods and I started gaining weight. So my metabolism was not like I was not a hard gainer. So once I started eating a bit properly, more like 5 to 6 meals a day, big meals, I started gaining muscle, and I started gaining muscle really fast. Mm-hmm. And my progress was, I was amazed by the progress that I did for first 4 months. And in a matter of fact, as soon as I started going to the gym, for 4 months, I gained around 10 kgs of probably muscle, I would say, because your body, when you're not used to that type of workouts and eating, like the first years are so good to gain muscle. So I started gaining a lot, and like 6 to 7 months into my training in nutrition, I decided to prep for a show. So I prepped for the first nationals in Bulgaria.
Okay. What age? 7?
At the age of 17. I just turned 17 and competed in my first show.
How did that go?
So I won it.
Wow. At 17, first show.
At 17, first show ever. I won the show. Next year, did the show again, won again, the bigger class. And after that, I went in Austria, lived there for 2 years.
You alone?
Yes. So I had a girlfriend there. I had a woman there. So I was with her for like 2 years. Went there by myself. I didn't know German. I just went there. Just on my own. I just knew English and that's it.
How did you? One question: how did you pay for this?
So I worked all kinds of different jobs. I was a cleaner. I was doing the dirtiest jobs you can imagine. Of course, I'm a single kid. I have no siblings. My father, he helped me a little bit, so he was always supportive. He wasn't supportive with my bodybuilding career that much until I turned pro. Then he became, but he was supportive. Like, he won't leave me alone. Like, he wouldn't let me go without money or something. But at the same time, I come from a poor family, so we weren't rich, and we were not rich. It's just he was giving me enough so I can literally buy my food and just do my stuff.
So then you went to Austria. You went to Austria. You stayed there for 2 years, and then
there I competed at nationals in bodybuilding, in juniors to 23-year-olds, and I competed in men's category as well. So the nationals in Austria, I won them, both categories. So I won the junior and the men category. Then I became like a face of the Austrian the IFBB. It was IFBB division.
Okay.
So they had I was promoting the IFBB there, and I competed in Switzerland because I was living on a border with Switzerland and with Germany. So it was really easy to travel around these 3 countries. So I competed in Switzerland. I won another shoulder in men category, bodybuilding again. And then I competed in Germany. I won another shoulder again in men bodybuilding. So I was always winning, you know. I always went to competitions with that mentality. I'm going to win. I'm going for first place. I don't want to get top 3. I'm winning it.
But this was bodybuilding, correct?
This was bodybuilding. Yeah, this is before Classic was discovered.
So how did you make the jump to Classic into the NPC?
I started, as I said, I just didn't want to get big and unsymmetrical. I wanted to look beautiful. I wanted my body to be well built, to be beautiful and pleasing to the eye. So I've decided to switch to Classic in 2020 when I did Romania Muscle Fest show.
Yes.
So I saw what was my weight cap for amateur, which was 86 kgs. So I'm 173.5 centimeters on a good day.
On a good day, yes. You're not the tallest, no. Anyway.
No.
No.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I can pretty much fit in that. And I as I said, I just always had that flow in me for a classic shape and the way of posing. I teach myself over the years how to pose properly and how to represent my physique in a proper way, because you can have a really beautiful physique, but if you don't know how to represent it to the people, to the judges, then they can play you a bad game, really bad game. So that's why even now for Arnold, my routine. I did that routine on stage. I never practiced it.
You never practiced it?
Oh. No, I made it up on stage. And even in Texas Pro last week, made it up on stage again.
You made it up? You're more comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay.
So I have a build, like I have built like couple of transactions from pose to pose. So I work with transactions. So I know how to make a proper transaction from one pose to another, and I combine them.
Okay.
So that's how I make up my routines on stage. Different variations of transactions. I'm pretty sure if I like practice it, it will come even better, and I can do even better. But for now, this works for me. I like how it works, and I'll see. Maybe in the near future, I'll try to get more serious with it, because this is maybe the one thing that I'm not that serious about. I'm not.
Is that because they don't reward posing anyway? That is not as important?
I even spoke to the head judges. They said they don't really judge it.
No.
It's just for the audience. But still, I want to bring something good for the audience, because the communication with audience is so important for me.
Yes, okay.
That's why I saw at Texas, I was like clapping, and I want to audience to start. Back in the days, people were going crazy about bodybuilding. Like the audience.
What is back in the day for you? Since you're not even 25, what's back in the day for you?
No, I'm not. But I'm like, since I started bodybuilding, I was like not 100% on it. I'm 200% on it. I've watched all the stuff in the world.
Who's your favorite bodybuilder of all time? Physique.
It's for not you. It's not a golden era bodybuilder. If you're concerned, it's not a golden era bodybuilder. It's Ronnie Coleman.
Okay, yeah, of course, yeah.
It's Ronnie Coleman, because I look at him, the way he trains. I train heavy. I train like a power bodybuilder. I love to go heavy. At the same time, I don't know, man. His mentality, the way he speaks and thinks about stuff, I love it. I love it. So, as you said, I'm not that old. I'm 23, but I used to look up all these guys since I was 16, and I didn't go out for parties and stuff. I was just doing bodybuilding. That's like tunnel vision all the time. Like, just care about bodybuilding and nothing else. How to earn my money, to buy my food, to go to the gym. That's it.
No parties, no
parties, no stuff like this. I mean, no, never.
Okay, how do we move to the UK? Because you live currently in the UK, correct?
Correct. So I was after I was in Austria for 2 years. COVID came. My grandma passed away. My grandpa passed away. My grandfather passed away. My greatest father passed away. So they passed away in like a diapason of a couple of months, like 3 months, one after another. I broke up with my girlfriend. COVID came, and I had to do something because they fired me from my job in Austria. So I had to go back to Bulgaria because I wasn't paying rent. So it was about, I was more secure there, I can say. So I was just living in my house. Of course, gyms were shut because of COVID, but I still found a way to train. I got some dumbbells, got some stuff, train outside, and still ate clean. Still had some activity. I didn't stop for a bit. But yeah, Bulgaria is a poor country, so I couldn't make it there. And bodybuilding is not really appreciated in there, even if you're pro. They don't really care. They don't mention you that much.
No.
Yes, and my mother and my father, they lived in UK since, I don't know, maybe 6 7 years. By that time, they had a rented place, so I decided, yeah, it would be probably a better move to go there for my bodybuilding path. Of course, um, it will Austria was better than Bulgaria for bodybuilding. UK even more, because people care about bodybuilding there. Like, they give a shit about bodybuilding. So for me, it was just the right move to do, to go there. I worked in a metro, like in a metro station. I was a cleaner there. So because when I finished school, I didn't sign for university, even though I finished as a programmer. That was my thing, so I had a future.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I could do something with computers. So yeah, but I did not. So I decided I'll do the dirtiest jobs in the world, whatever it takes, just so I can earn money and do my bodybuilding thing. I was working night shifts in a metro station while prepping for Arnold's.
So you were willing to do everything you can do to fulfill your dream as a bodybuilder. You turn pro. You placed third or fourth at the pro show the next day, correct?
Yes, I placed third. I placed third at the night show.
And I talked to you. You were a little bit disappointed. You want to place even higher, correct?
I was so disappointed. Shane placed second, so we had a 1 point difference.
Okay.
So I was like, but at the same time, who am I? Like, I just turned from amateur to pro, and to play second in a pro show, it would be a little bit crazy. So I was pretty happy, to be honest. A little bit maybe disappointed because I'm not used to losing after winning every single year. I never lost a competition. In my career, I got 1 time second and 1 time fourth. That's it. Everything else I'm 23 now. I have around about 20, no, not 20, 12 competitions behind my back by this time, maybe a little bit more. But I've always won those shows. Many of them I've won them. So, I'm that doesn't mean I cannot handle a lose. I lost. I can, of course, I can.
Then after that show, what can I say? In the UK, we have tremendous amount of people turning pro, but very few do anything.
Yes,
this is a fact for people watching. There's so many pro cards given out now in the UK.
Oh, yeah.
And so in the UK, we have now a lot of pro cards, but very few do anything. So just because you turn pro at that age, for me personally, you were very beautiful, but I didn't know exactly how good you were yet, because the level you competed against was not the absolutely best at the time.
That's true. That's true. I agree with that.
Yeah.
Well, many people turn pro at small shows. I turned pro at Arnold's, which was a pretty big competition. We were like 25, huge show. Even it was the first one in the UK. It was still huge, pretty huge. A lot of people in my category, around 20 plus people. So to turn pro from a competition where 25 people, it's a bit different to turn pro in a competition where just 6 to 7 people in the category maximum. So, yeah.
But that was the point. The point was, I was now making see what was going to happen in 2022 for you. Then we went for the Arnold Classic UK, the big show in 5 weeks, and you were not accepted. Just quick, what were your feelings when you saw your name was not on the list?
I was shocked. I was shocked because I saw names that I beat there, first of all.
I know.
I saw some names that I beat. I saw some names that didn't promote the show at all. And I was promoting Arnold Classic UK from the day I won it. From the very day I won the show, back to every single month, every single week, I was posting something about it. I was talking about it in my post. I was saying how many weeks out. I was reposting consistently. And at the end, when I didn't get invited, I was pretty disappointed. I was in the gym. I was having a blast session, and the list came out while I was working out, and it really changed my mood during the session. For a while, I felt terrible for like an hour or so, but then I was like, okay, this is something out of my control. I'll write the email to the pro league, see what they said. They said nothing. They didn't respond. I'm like, okay, maybe they respond to whatever they want. So yeah, I didn't get it's something out of my control, so I couldn't do nothing about it. So I was like, okay, let me think straight, because I'm always thinking like logically about the stuff. When it's outside my control, I cannot do anything about it. I've done everything to do it, and I didn't get it. Why should it be mad? Yes, I'm mad for 1 hour, and then it went away. Then I was like, okay, that's it. Maybe that's the way it should be. God's will. Like, I can do nothing about it. So 1 hour passed, and I was like, okay, what are we gonna do now? I messaged Callum, and me and Callum decided to jump in prep for like 6 weeks.
And just a quick, for not everyone in America and wherever people watch, India or whatever people watch this show, Callum. Who is Callum?
Callum.
Oh, you light up like a girl there. Good. That's a good first sign. Who is Callum?
Callum is my dad.
There you go.
I always joke with him. He's like, I feel him like not my coach. He's my coach. Yeah, Callum RIZE. He's best in the UK. Like in my opinion, he has. It's not just my opinion. This is something that it's facts. That's just facts. We state facts here. He has the most pro cards won in the UK, most top placings. No one else in the UK has done this that he has, and his work ethic is insane. Somehow, I don't know how he does it. I've seen him. Well, I know how he does it. He doesn't sleep, but he pays attention to every single one of his athletes.
So he's a coach you would recommend for people, is what you're saying?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I met him in Poland. If you don't know, after Arnold's with my previous coach, we decided to do Poland Pro Show. But my previous coach didn't come with me in Poland. I told him, I'll pay you the Airbnb, I'll pay you the stay, I'll pay you your flight ticket, I'll pay you everything. Just be there. I need you there. Because I'm going to a country that I don't know. I go alone there. It's my first proper pro show because Arnold was the same day. But this is my first pro show that I have to sign up documents. I still don't know how the whole thing works. I have to deal with flights, with Airbnbs, with stays, with tanning appointments and everything. And I didn't really know how that everything works. I've always done everything when I go there.
We've seen, for people who can follow Callum, they can see him. He's always flying. He's always with the athletes, and he responds to every text. And he's very passionate. He had a seminar now in America, and he's very on it. But let's get back to it. So then I saw your name on one of the easiest shows to ever get the Olympia qualification, the Finland Pro.
The Finland Pro.
And you were on the plane. You went to Finland. There was only 3 athletes in the show, 4 athletes in the show, and one of them was an amateur.
Yeah.
And you didn't win it.
This is the show. This is the only show for the past years since I'm competing that I couldn't handle the loss.
No.
Because it was circumstances. It was the fact that they canceled 3 of our flights. We ended up traveling 36 hours to Finland.
Yeah, I remember the stories.
Yeah, so our flight was supposed to go 8 in the morning, and we should have arrived there by 2 p.m. the same day. So that's about, not even 2, it was like 12 at noon. So 4 hours flight, something like that. But I wake up 5 in the morning, and I got an email. Everyone is still sleeping. I'm at Callum's house. Everyone is sleeping. And I get an email. Your flight is canceled. And I can't believe it. I'm watching the fucking screen of the phone, and my mind can't process the things. I'm like, it is a joke. Is this okay? Something's messed up here. This can't be true. Well, it was. So me, Hannah, Callum's girlfriend, and Callum, we started looking at some flights. What can we do? We started thinking, flying to Bulgaria, from Bulgaria flying to Finland, flying to from London to Finland, from Manchester to Finland, all kinds of options. Well, the best option was like 36 hours flight, and it was not straight, but it was with waiting on an airport for 8 hours, which was a huge stress for my body. Because for people who don't know, we jumped from having a 16-week prep for Arnold to having a 5-week prep to Finland. We talk about 7 weeks of difference. I was 106 as a body weight, and my weight cap is 90 kg. That's 16 kgs you drop in 5 weeks. And I'm a tough motherfucker. I'll do it. I'll do whatever it takes. I can go through thick and thin. I can do everything that I'm supposed to do.
So after what happened there, then
I was backstage. When I got placed second, I went backstage, laid on the ground, and I cried my eyes out because I cried for like 20 minutes straight.
Wow.
This was the only time I couldn't handle a loss in my bodybuilding career. And it was just because circumstances made the things so bad for us.
But in all negative things, then we come. The only way to make it big as a European athlete is to make it big in America, correct? That's the only thing that matters. No one cares about us in shitty Europe. It's only about America when it comes to bodybuilding.
Well, that's true. At the same time, Europeans have, in Europe, we have really good competitors.
I know, but we're not respected. We're not respected the same.
There you go. So,
Tampa,
we actually had Tampa Pro.
You go to Tampa, we have 30 athletes or whatever it was in Classic, and they call you out in the first call out in the middle in your American debut. What's going through your mind?
I knew it.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I knew it. I know where I belong. I'll be honest with you, AJ. I know where I belong as a classic physique athlete. I always knew where I should stand next to which athletes I should stand. That's the reason when I lost Finland, I was so disappointed. I knew I had that show if I was in shape properly. Like it was, even if I was in the shape I was in Tampa, I got the show. I was winning it. But that's why actually the head judge, he told me I wanted the feedback.
Who was the head judge, Tyler or was it Weinberg?
It was Mass.
Okay, Mass Ali, yeah.
In Finland. So he told me, that's the reason I wanted you to win. That's the reason we were making 4 or 5 rounds. He wanted me to pause and pause and pause and get better by the time. Condition to pop a little bit more. He said you were more classic. You have really good classic shape.
Oh, you're very classic. The way you hit the front, classical front with the one arm up with the legs. This is not something we see every day, no.
He said that he got me winning, but I missed a little bit of conditioning, and that's the reason he made us pose so hard, and he really did. He did us really bad at posing, like 4 or 5 rounds. He was torturing us on stage just so he can get me better and eventually win the show. I couldn't. So
at Tampa,
as I said, at Tampa, I knew where we spoke with Callum, and I'm like, Callum, we'll be in the top 3. You know that, and he's like, we know that. He knows where I belong.
So this is the confidence you had going into your first.
I have that confidence, and some people are really bothered by that because they think I'm arrogant. I'm not arrogant. I'm never arrogant. I just know where I belong. There's a difference, you know. There's a huge difference between those two things, and I prove it with you see. I placed second at Texas. I placed third in Tampa. I'm proving it.
So Tampa first.
Tampa.
You're in the middle.
I'm in the middle.
With Opera.
Yes. with courage. So they put me in the top 2 in the first call out. So it's me, courage, and the other guy. What was his name? Yeah, sorry, I forgot his name.
Yeah.
So it was his pro debut as well. So they put me in the top 2 with courage, and I'm like, okay, pal, we're winning this show. We definitely can win this show. And he knows we can win it. We both knew I can win it. But then we did a mistake, and the mistake was we ate a little bit of more carbs before the pre-judging and the finals. So we had another like 300 grams of carbs, which, because they told me to get a little bit sharper for the night show. So to become sharper, we decided to put some food, but we put a little bit too much food too close to the stage. We had like 4 hours to the stage, in which we had around 300 grams of carbs, which was way too much. If I had only one meal, then I was getting second or first. But yes, I end up spitting at the night show, and they placed me third.
Then we were going 1 week later. No, 2 weeks or 1 week later. 2 weeks? Or what was it?
1 week.
1 week.
1 week later.
Texas Pro. We're at the pre-judging. It's the same guy. You have, again, you're in the middle, but this time, entire Instagram and every YouTube channel is saying, you leading, you got this, on the picture, conditioning and your lines. And what were you thinking then after pre-judging?
I said to Cal, I ended up in the middle. You know, we're winning.
Yes.
We're coming a little bit just, so now we know what to do, how to eat, how to not overcarb, how to do the things properly. So we had just 2 small meals, 75 grams of carbs per meal. That's 150. And we had good time, like 6-7 hours before the night show. Perfect. My waist, my midsection was tight. Everything was on point. I came sharper at the night show.
Yes.
And courage came a little bit more.
So when
soft.
they announced you in second, what was going through your mind?
I knew it. I knew it because I'm not local. I'm a Bulgarian guy who just comes here. I try to put my name out here, and people don't know really who I am. Neither the judges or the audience. I just started meeting new people in the States now, meeting the judges, speaking with the judges, getting feedback from the judges. I never had that before. And obviously,
is that something that is, this is the tradition, obviously, that, you know, you have to, of course, there's some difference with Andrew Jack, but obviously he's a superstar before he even stepped on the stage with all the hype. But is this something you accept, or does it bother you?
Hey, I was in top 2 at Texas. It's a big show. It's a pretty big show. Even though it was a tier 4 show, which I didn't know. I thought it's a tier 2 show. But now from next year it will be tier 2, they announced. But still, I was happy with the result at the end, even though I didn't place first. I was too happy because people now know my name. People start following me, started supporting me. Bodybuilders Without Borders posted a video where we posed, 4 of us posed on stage, and people were going mad in the comments. Val got robbed. But
what is the plan? Because I see we have 5 minutes. What is the plan now?
The plan now is we're gonna do another show in 2 weeks. So
Which
back
one?
to back to back to back. 4
Which
shows
one?
back to back. We're gonna do Southwest Muscle Contest in California.
Okay.
In California. I just signed up the papers today. So it's official. Once I sign them, that means we're on. It's official, so I can go back. And it's gonna be in Anaheim, in California, and we have 2 weeks into it. Time to get sharper, time to get better. When I do a competition, I don't really care who's getting out there. I don't care who's competing. I know I'm competing. I'm the danger. They should be worried about me.
And this is the moment this is your Olympia qualification moment, isn't it?
This is my Olympia qualification. And listen, AJ, now it's 3 p.m. at 16th of August, and I'm telling you that I'm going to win this show, and I'm going to get qualified for Olympia by winning a show. Yes, now I'm on the top. I have top points now. I have 22 points. I'm on the very top with the points, but I don't want to get qualified by points. Even though if I don't do the show, there are not many shows left. I'm gonna get the qualification. I'll get qualified for Olympia, but I want to get it by winning a show. So I'm telling you now that we're winning this show.
Who was the last Bulgarian to be at the Olympia?
Dobry Dele.
That's the last one. How many years was that ago?
Man, I believe it was 2012.
Many only years once, wasn't it?
Only once, I think, yeah.
And that's 10 years ago now.
That's 10 years ago, and maybe it might be a little bit more less than that, but not sure about it. But the fact that I'll be the second one to step in there, it's something big for me. It means that I prove myself. It means I prove my. It means that the thing that I said to my grandma that I'll be there. I promised, and I did it. This is pretty much enough for me just to step on the Olympia stage next to the big guys that I used to look up to, and now to be against them and to fight for that top 10, top 6 maybe, you never know. We're going to improve crazy until then because we got proper feedback from the judges from Tampa and Texas. Now we know what to do. And yeah.
Thank you for telling your story. It was interesting to know you more of your background. It's very cool to follow your journey, and with a lot of with the way Instagram is now, we can really see inside the lives of so many different athletes. We're in a great time. Classic is really on the rise. Open bodybuilding is on the rise. 212 is on the rise. All the girl classes are booming. This is the time for bodybuilding. And before we go, say something in Bulgarian for the people in Bulgaria, in your language, before we go.
Okay. Wow, you got me really good here. I'm speechless right now. Yeah. I've been speaking English for the past couple of months, and I'm like, what should I say? Обичам се родината, обичам се държавата. Радвам се, че мога да представям България на това ниво, което в момента го представям. За мен е чест и удоволствие да съм българин и се надявам да покажа най-доброто от мен на Олимпия тази година.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time. And in 2 weeks, we'll be watching the stream.
In 2 weeks, we'll be watching the stream, and we might have a surprise 1 week after that. We'll see. Depends how it goes.
Arnold Classic?
No, actually, I wrote a message to the Ivy Pro League, and they told me that they no longer give wild cards.
Okay.
Wild cards are over. So yeah, but you'll see. We might do one more dance. But for now, we shall see. First, we have 2 weeks left.
Thank you very much. And what's your code for HD Muscle? Do you have a code?
Not yet, because I'm still waiting to get my paperwork from them. But this will happen in the next days because Mariah, the girl who does the management, she was pretty busy with Quinton and with his competition. So yeah, we'll do this in the next 2 days.
Goodbye.
But yeah, see you. Thank you for having me, AJ. Bye-bye.